Hi, I'm Sonia and I help people take their power back. If you're interested in supporting my channel or are interested in one-on-one coaching, my Ko-Fi link is down in the description. This video, I want to talk about robotic affirmations. Someone asked me about this topic and I thought it was a wonderful video idea. So let's get into it. I am a huge fan of robotic affirmations. I have completely changed my entire mindset with robotic affirmations. So I've told this before, I got into manifesting in 2018, started working with a coach. This was all law of attraction. I started working with a coach in 2019 and I did a lot of technique-y bullshit and it wasn't getting me the results I wanted. Over 3 years in, I looked at my life and went, what the fuck? Like, why hasn't anything changed? Why? Like, I couldn't understand why I was doing all the things that I was being told to do. This was group coaching. So I would get on the calls and I not only heard myself who had been in the group for 3 years, but I heard people who had been in the group longer than me coming to the calls with the same fucking problems that they were coming and wanting solutions to for 3 years, over 3 years. And it was at that point that I found robotic affirming through Sammy. Talked about Sammy Ingram before. She was the one who it clicked that it was my thoughts, it was how I was thinking about things, and that was when I started robotically affirming. It worked so well for me because my brain, I think in words. I've talked about this before. I don't really think in images. The images, if I have images, come from the words that I am thinking in my head. So for me, robotic affirmations was vital to changing something in my life. That was the thing I was not doing consistently with all of the law of attraction shit. I was being told that it's not the techniques that manifest, but I didn't fucking understand what that meant. What it means is the techniques are great and can help you to stay in the idea of the wish fulfilled, as Neville Goddard would put it. But if you are not changing your thoughts and how you are thinking, you're not going to get results. You're just not. And so for me, robotically affirming changed everything. It made it easy for me. I pick like one affirmation and go for it. Now, when I first started, I've talked about this as well, my mindset was a mess. I literally believed, I'm like, I need to change every thought I have. And that came partially from that law of attraction coach. It was like all this misinformation or me misunderstanding, I'm not sure, but I had no idea it was just your thoughts. I really didn't. And when I figured that out, I started affirming. But because my mindset was so all over the place and I was so stressed out and so desperate after 3 years of thinking I had the fucking answer and was working towards something, realizing I had done none of the fucking work, I was pissed. I was angry. I had never been more angry in my life than when that all came crashing down. And I realized that my coach, I've talked about this on TikTok, was more of a cult leader. She just wanted people, like, I swear she just wanted people to need her. She didn't really give a fuck if we got results. I give a fuck that people get results. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm sharing this. This is why I'm speaking on this. So when I first started doing this, I could not for a full day stick with one affirmation. It was, I want this. And it's like, no, I want this. Okay, but what about this? I didn't understand how the mindset, like I really didn't get it. Like I understood, I'm like, okay, it's my thoughts, but I didn't know how to change them. But I kept with it. Even though I was changing my fucking affirmations every day, which I don't recommend you do, so don't do that. But that's what I was doing. And I had pages and pages and pages of affirmations that I was trying to tell myself. But in that process of doing all that shit, I kept affirming. I kept robotically affirming. I got to the point where I really shifted to the affirmation, isn't it wonderful? Everything's perfect. And I remember doing that through December of last year was when I really focused on that affirmation. And come January is when things started to shift. That was when I manifested going into acupuncture. I've told that story before. This is my journey. So it doesn't mean that do this and you're going to get results. That's not how manifestation works. I was robotically affirming, isn't it wonderful? Everything's perfect. Isn't it wonderful? Everything's perfect. Isn't it wonderful? Everything's perfect. Trying to let go of all the other things because I felt like I needed to change every thought. I felt like everything in my life was a fucking mess, and not that it wasn't. It just was like, I don't know where to start. I don't know what I want. I don't know what to affirm. I've talked about that before as well, how I'm like, I don't even know what I want. So for me, I robotically affirmed, isn't it wonderful? Everything's perfect. Isn't it wonderful? Everything's perfect. Isn't it wonderful? Everything's perfect. I would still kind of have like lists of affirmations because I was trying to like change my self-concept and all this shit. And that's when I realized I can just robotically affirm I'm perfect. That started to change. Realizing I can just tell myself, no, I have a perfect self-concept. I don't have to be doing all this work. Things changed. But it was through robotically affirming that my mindset actually shifted. So something I had thought of the other day is the term ANTS, automatic negative thoughts. If you've never heard that term before, that was me. My entire mindset was an automatic negative thought. Every thought I had was just like a disaster. And again, through my robotic affirming, now I found robotic affirming about a year ago. It was like the middle of July of last year. So I have spent now over a year robotically affirming. And at some point in the past 3 months or so, I couldn't even tell you, it happened so naturally. But now, just like I had all those automatic negative thoughts, my automatic thoughts now are my affirmations that I was drilling into my head last year at this time. Even though I was changing them and shifting them, they were all basically the same stuff, which narrowed me down to basically the same stuff. But now my automatic go-to thoughts are the affirmations I was drilling into my head a year ago. I truly, truly, truly believe that it is the repetition that is the key. And I know you want like a quick fix and you want like whatever, but I would go back and do it all again to have the mindset shift that I have had in the past year. It is fucking insane. To go from I hate my life being my dominant thought to I love my life, everything's perfect. From I don't know if this is going to work to no, I always get what I want. Being my natural thought process now. So where I started with the robotic affirmations and like really driving things into my head, because of that shift, I don't feel like I have to affirm as much. I have really stepped into, and now this is, if you're starting out, I would not do this. I would start with robotic affirmations. But because of that mindset shift, I don't feel like I need to control every fucking thought I have in my head anymore, because I don't. Because most of the thoughts I'm having are my old affirmations. They're the affirmations I want to be true now. That being said, I really have leaned into that I've been manifesting my whole life. The way I have thought my whole life, the way I have functioned my whole life before manifesting was manifesting. So because I've had that mindset shift, I am going back to just living my life, but from this place of knowing that my thoughts are important. What I think about and what I tell myself consistently is important. It has a massive impact in my life. Massive impact. And I am not going to allow myself to go back to the old thoughts, because I know if I repeat them enough, they're going to take over again. And that is not allowed. And now when I do have, every once in a great while, something will happen, and it'll be something dumb too. And my reaction will be like, I hate my life. And I'm like, no, that's dumb. Why would I think that? Absolutely fucking not. I love my life. Everything's perfect. I think that the repetition really helped me not only get it in there, but just like to remind myself, no, I don't have to think that. It's all about mindset. For me, robotic affirmations is what changed everything. The repetition, the doing it over and over and over again. I don't think anything else was going to work for me. Because like I said, my default mindset was garbage. And until I took responsibility for that and realized that I was in full control of that, nothing was changing. But now my mindset is completely different because I put in the work to make it that way. So I am a big fan of robotic affirming. If you think in words, in sentences, like you talk to yourself in your head, it is a great way to go, because you got to remember your affirmations are just thoughts. You are thinking thoughts all day long, so you might as well be thinking the thoughts that you want to become true, because they're going to become true if you tell yourself enough. They're going to become your automatic because you told yourself enough. Just like right now, your default is whatever it is. By telling yourself something different enough, that will become your default thought, and you're not going to question it or think about it. And you're going to wake up one day and be like, holy shit, all that stuff that I was thinking in the past, like, it doesn't come up anymore. I don't think, like, it's weird when you think those thoughts. And I still can't believe that I've completely changed the way that I think, because I chose to robotically tell myself things that I didn't believe. It's insane. So I hope this answered your question on what my thoughts on robotic affirming are. If you guys have any other questions, leave them in the comments and I will try to address them to the best of my ability. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, be sure to check out Create Your Manifestation Lifestyle here on YouTube. And if you haven't, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Love and light.